Title: I'm sorry, it was just a kiss. Story 1. While out one evening with her friends, she became intoxicated and the following day admitted to me that she had kissed a man she claimed she had never met before. I was met with a display of entirely insincere tears and an apology. Hey everyone! We're back with another sign-up email. If you want to share your story, send it to Lessons from Life. I'll display it on the Lessons from Life screen. Whether it's a funny story, advice you want to give, a success story you believe can help others, or if you're looking for guidance from viewers in the comments or listen to the video, please send it my way. I've gotten a lot of emails from people who just need to talk and unload on something. So if you have a story to share, send it to Lessons from Life. You've seen the title, so let's dive in. The subject line is simply subscriber's story with a request to remain anonymous. Okay, let's see what this is about. Hi Lessons from Life. I believe that by sharing my experience, it might benefit other men out there. I prefer to remain unnamed. Currently, I'm 27 years old. 3 years ago, at 24, I began dating a woman I'd known since I was 15. She was my age, and we'd been friends for many years before our relationship took a romantic turn. Everything was smooth and our families were thrilled. I got along well with her parents, and we had great chemistry. Conversations were effortless, she laughed easily, and she often complimented me on how I pleased her intimately. Before we were together, none of this would have been imaginable. About a year into our relationship, I started thinking she might be the one. Having known her for 9 years, I felt I was fully aware of her character. She had no warning signs, no tattoos, always dressed appropriately, was polite to everyone, articulate, and financially stable as a makeup artist working with TV studios and top British politicians. Additionally, she was employed across various locations in the UK. She wasn't annoying, clingy, or overly demanding. I genuinely believed she was the perfect partner. At that time, I was employed in event security in Glasgow. The pay was sufficient but not substantial. It was a 0-hours contract, meaning I was only called in when needed. I wanted to purchase an engagement ring for her, so I asked some coworkers if they could help me get more hours, which they did. I ended up working 12 to 15-hour days, 5 to 6 days a week, guarding construction equipment outside Glasgow. For those unfamiliar with Scotland, it rains frequently and winters are bitterly cold. Standing in the snow at a basic shed with minimal lighting for such long hours felt endless, but I persevered to save money for the ring. Due to my extensive work schedule, my communication with my girlfriend slightly decreased. She began expressing that something felt off and that we needed to address it. I explained that I only had a few more months at the construction site and that things would return to normal once my contract ended. The jewelers required the full payment except for the last installment, which I had nearly completed, 7 out of 11 payments. I had exhausted myself physically, sacrificed time with friends, family, and my girlfriend to afford the ring. 2 months before I was set to receive the ring, she mentioned that things still weren't right in our relationship and that changes were necessary. I assured her that things would improve and that she shouldn't worry. I had extended my job by just 1 month to save enough for a vacation to Paris, Rome, or New York. She wasn't satisfied and insisted I find a new job. I reiterated that I was doing this for both of us and that she'd appreciate the efforts when we traveled together. I spoke with my boss, who offered to adjust my hours to 8 hours for 4 days a week and 15 hours on the 5th day. This adjustment helped, and our relationship seemed to improve. I felt I was achieving the best of both worlds, earning more money and restoring our relationship to its former happiness. However, she started asking if I could attend one of her friends' birthdays. I had to decline due to my early morning shift and apologized, saying it was just bad timing. During that night out, she became drunk and confessed the next day that she had kissed a man she claimed she had never met before. Her friends were upset with her for kissing someone while being in a relationship. I was furious when she told me. 2 weeks later, I was about to receive the wedding ring and was excited. I noticed she began hiding her phone, which was unusual and caught my attention. She seemed happier than usual, displaying a positivity that was previously absent. I assumed it was because my long working hours were ending and things were returning to normal. Suddenly, I received a call from an unknown number. It was one of her friends concerned about her behavior, saying she was acting out of character and seemed unhappy. I told her I wasn't aware of anything wrong and that she appeared happy the night before. The next day, I received another call from the same friend, revealing that the man she kissed was a male model she'd previously worked with on a makeup set. She had been seeing him in secret for months while I was unaware. I was heartbroken and confronted her. She responded with fake tears and apologized, but admitted she had ended our relationship, not just as a couple but also as friends. I took her phone, deleted my number, and blocked her on all platforms. She has never contacted me since. Some might think she started cheating after expressing her unhappiness, but the infidelity began just a month into our relationship. When I told her I didn't want to continue, her facade dropped, revealing a cold and unapproachable person, someone who wouldn't consider marriage due to the risks involved for men. I realized that if I had married her, she would have taken everything from me, leaving me destitute. The lesson here is that you can know someone as a friend for 9 years and be in a relationship with them for nearly a year and a half, only to discover they're entirely different from what you believed. There were no warning signs or red flags, making it the perfect deception. Stay cautious, be careful, and never let your guard down. P.S. I used the money intended for the engagement ring to fund my university education. I'm now 1 year away from earning my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Shout out to all the engineers. I plan to move to America after graduation and secure a solid job in the tech industry. I have no interest in her whereabouts and honestly, I don't care. As Donovan Sharp says, she belongs to the streets wherever she goes. A red pill man from Scotland, salute to you. Let me share my thoughts. Wow man, salute to you. Reading through your story, I initially thought it would follow the typical pattern: apology, forgiveness, and then betrayal again. But nope, as soon as you discovered the truth, it was over. You blocked her, cut ties, and haven't heard from her since. Good for you. That's exactly how it should be. You focused on yourself, went to university, invested in your future, and are now close to earning your engineering degree. Kudos to you. We've heard many stories where people reward bad behavior, leading to more negativity. But you chose to let go and move forward with your life. I especially loved when you said you have no idea how she's doing and frankly you don't care. That's the best revenge, moving on. She no longer exists in your life. She pursued someone else, and whether things work out for them is irrelevant because you're doing well. Thank you for sharing your story. This was an inspiring story. Feel free to update us on your progress once you graduate and start your career. Story 2. Salute to you. If you want to share a story, send it to Lessons from Life. I'll display it on the screen. Lessons from Life. Let's check out another email. Alright, here's another one. It's brief. The subject is simply my story. I'm 42 and going through a divorce. Married for 9 years, the first 5 were wonderful. In 2015, we bought a new house. 6 months later, she began missing work, facing mental health issues, drinking, and using drugs. Initially, she had a condition and was following her doctor's advice, leading to several promotions at work. But everything changed. She started wasting money, spending excessive time with her family, and got involved in their drama. She had a competitive nature, constantly rivaling her siblings. Whenever her sister bought a new car or house, my wife wanted the same. Her mother was intrusive, often asking me for back rubs and making comments that would be deemed sexual harassment if a man did them. The final straw was this summer when she begged me to let her nieces move in. I refused, not wanting to take on the responsibility of raising other men's children, especially since they were unruly and hormonal. Coupled with my wife's erratic behavior, she became emotionally distant. On a Saturday morning, she told me she wanted a divorce. When I asked who was involved, she said she had been talking to her ex-fiancé for advice. I was devastated and filed for divorce the following Monday. Share this on your page, name withheld. Wow man, that's tough. Let me share my thoughts. It was brief, but I'm glad you opened up about it. It seems like things were great initially but then deteriorated. Sibling rivalry can be really frustrating, especially when it leads to competition over things you don't even want. She tried to move family members in, disregarding your wishes. Notice how as soon as you said no, she decided she wanted out. The word no is powerful. When she said she wanted a divorce, your immediate response was to ask who it was, indicating she might already have someone else in mind. You're a smart man, you recognize the situation. I'm glad you filed for divorce. I hope things work out well for you in the end. I also hope she doesn't take everything from you. Feel free to provide an update on this. Even though you wanted to stay anonymous, you can refer people back to this video if you choose to share. Let us know how things turned out and how you're doing. The word no truly holds power. Let me know your thoughts on both emails in the comments below. If you'd like to share a story, offer advice, or seek guidance, send it to Lessons from Life. I'll display it on the screen, Lessons from Life. Catch you all in the next one.